Welcome back to upcycling a mower blade into a bushcraft knife. This is build part 2, where I worked to temper that blade that was crafted from a mower blade in part 1. First, I'm going to need some quench water, and here I make a little trip to the lake to give me some quench water. So I tried making a fire in an open area, and my wood wasn't dry enough and didn't have enough natural draft, and I just couldn't get anywhere near critical temperature. So I'm going to use these plates that I'd made earlier out of clay, which I added 25% really fine bandsaw wood powder to, so that when they were fired they were very porous, or had a lot of air pockets in them and insulate very well. And it worked out pretty good, but these two propane torches weren't quite enough, and I needed to get this video out, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. So the end of that blade tip was actually non-magnetic, which helped. But it is what it is. The main reason for this video is to demonstrate the concept and the technique of taking a mower blade to a finished bushcraft knife. So I do hit it with a file here, and it is pretty hard. It is biting just a little bit, and like I said, I'm just going to go with it. So now I need a quench container for some used motor oil. So I'm going to upcycle a used drinking water container, and then I'm going to upcycle some used motor oil. So this whole video series is about upcycling, and it's, very economical. It makes me feel a little better that I'm reusing something that normally would be discarded or thrown away. I do take my motor oil to an automotive shop to put back in the system, and they recycle that motor oil back into cleaned up, usable, sellable motor oil. So here I'm using two propane torches to try to draw that straw yellow color to the edge. In hindsight, I think it would have been easier to go slower and work with just one propane torch. But the cool part is, in the video here, we can see that color form in that bright metal, and it's moving out toward the edge, and I'm like, you know what, let's just do this. It worked okay. And of course, I didn't pre-size my container, and I had trouble sinking the whole edge in the motor oil. But again, you get the idea. So it's pretty cool. It worked. In very simple setup and very simple support conditions. So back with that 400 grit diamond buffing pad, just to freshen up that surface and take the colors of that outer part of the metal. Just to let you know, this grinder that I'm using is a variable speed angle grinder, so that I can turn the speed down and not run the risk of overheating that really fine edge and destroying what little temper control I've got in it. So they're a little bit more expensive than a single speed, but it works great. I like it. So bear in mind, when you're using a rotary disc like this on a piece of metal, and it's got a really sharp edge, you really want to drag that rotary disc rotation of the edge instead of into it. This isn't a honing stone. It doesn't work that way. Of course, most people just have to experience something like an accident to appreciate that that's not a good idea. So anyway, don't do that. A little bit of handwork on a fine grit stone, and it's nearly paper cutting sharp. This isn't the final honing, so I'm just did this for a little demonstration. This metal will take a good edge, and it's going to be usable for bushcrafting, no problem. All right, that's a wrap up, and thanks for watching part 2. Stay tuned, and I'm going to be making a handle next of upcycled material, of course. And thanks for watching. Take care.